What is going on, everybody? Ron DeSantis promises to end the Biden war on Bitcoin. And if he's elected, he says he'll toss the CBDC into the trash can. Well, that's not a trash can, buddy. You're the governor of it. SEC files a lawsuit against Richard Hart because Gary Gensler just wanted some dick. And Sam Bankman-Fried is the guy that rugged bald on the Base network for Coinbase. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great evening. My name is Bleeves. This is Bedtime with Bleeves. We're going to tuck you in with all that sweet, sweet knowledge of cryptocurrency that you've been missing all day long. Before we do, let's get into chat and let's see what's going on. Justin W is in the house. What up? What up? GT007 says, this bastard worries about, you know what? When you start off with that, it's probably a girl, right? This bastard worries about people selling, and he sells behind the scenes. It's SCENES, scenes. When he in profit, that's not even proper English. Good try, though. Good try on the words. Maddie B, who you talk about, GT? I have no idea who he's talking about. Richard Nelson, hey, everyone. Richard Nelson says Bone. So let's go see what's going on with Bone after we get through some of this absolute insanity. I hope everybody had a great day. Hope you had a good day trading. It was really sideways, really kind of ugly for most of the day. Weren't really seeing that nice big pump that we were hoping to get in the market. And of course, that just seems to be the way it is. You never know what's going to happen in this crazy market, other than America is going to dump on you. You know, that one's going to be the easy one. RW7610 says, what's going on? Silver Platters in the house. Man watching TV is here. So let's yes, X is still going on. And guys, goddamn, now hopefully it'll go to 100 million and everybody can make a bunch of money off of it. I really hope that everybody, because I don't want to be the person that says, hey, this is going to rug, but it does not look like it did not look like it was having very much luck at that point, and it started to really kind of wear down. And so hopefully X is going to give it to you. Top of the morning, Jamie Bridges, what is going on, man? So anyway, let's check out what's going on, because there's just some absolutely crazy shit. Sam Bankman-Fried sitting in his, I don't know why it's not a jail cell, sitting in his house, his mom's house. By the way, we're getting into the Halloween spirit a little bit early around here. So Sam Bankman-Fried in his mom's basement, where it looks like he goes and fits in the best. Apparently rugged bald. He was the person that ran it up with 100 million and exited 20 million in liquidity off of it. And Richard Nelson asked the question, didn't they drop the charges against SBF? No, they dropped the charge of tampering and campaign. I'm sorry, they dropped the charges of campaign finance because he's under an extradition to the Bahamas, and because he had campaign finance on the docket, because he was accused of that, he could not be extradited until he dealt with campaign problems. So they agreed to drop it so that he can be prosecuted in the Bahamas. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that means anything one way or another. I know it's something. Look, I know it's something for a bunch of bitch boys to cry about. So, I mean, cry away, bitch boys. You know what I mean? But otherwise, so, but as far as news goes, it's just getting kind of just bonkers, right? So number one, Ron DeSantis promises to end the Biden war on Bitcoin and toss all CBDs into Florida. Trash can. Florida governor is among a number of presidential candidates who have expressed support for the leading cryptocurrency. Now, he has stated specifically that this is a war on cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin. And if you go back and you pay attention to Donald Trump and you pay attention to Robert Kennedy right now, both of them have been very specific about Bitcoin. Now, Kennedy seems to be a Bitcoin maxi, or seems to be. And Trump ran an NFT collection on Ethereum. So it is possible that Trump will have kind of a pivot pretty soon, that maybe we'll see an announcement that we'll see an announcement pretty soon that Donald Trump is now embracing cryptocurrency as the future, and might even have some kind of crazy ass idea about how to back it, or how Bitcoin will back it, or just, there's going to be something. I get the sense that there's going to be something coming up pretty soon from Donald Trump making a statement, because that seems like the one thing, the only thing that's got this little groundswell giving Ron DeSantis any sort of oxygen at this point. And of all the people who would like to pull the rug out from under someone, it would be Donald Trump. So I would imagine that he will pivot pretty soon and be supportive of cryptocurrency and say that we need legislation, we need some regulation, we need some of this kind of stuff. And as president, I will have it done on day zero, because that's what I do. Everything. I built an entire wall around Mexico, made out of nacho, I want to say, and cheese fountains, and whatever, you know. I mean, it doesn't get done, but you know, we get kind of there. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see something done pretty quickly. And as long as it's reasonable, it passes the president's desk, it's going to get signed into law. And at this point, who gives a shit? As long as the president is supportive of cryptocurrency in general. And look, with the recognition and understanding that we are in a gambling area, right? The DeFi space, it does have a bit of risk to it. Some of these cryptocurrencies that are out here, they do have some issues, concerns, and problems. So, you know, we do want to at least like if we can have somebody who's crypto savvy or crypto friendly or pro crypto, then we can at least acknowledge that we have our own little problem in this space and probably need to do something about it, because it's just kind of nasty out here. So anyway, but that's what we have so far with Ron DeSantis. And the SEC has filed a lawsuit against Richard Hart and companies Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X. The SEC filed a lawsuit Friday against Richard Schuler, known as Richard Hart, and his companies Hex, Pulse Chain, and Pulse X, alleging they raised more than $1 billion through unregistered securities offerings. The SEC complaint alleges that beginning in December of 2019, Hart offered and sold Hex tokens and promised investors incentives and bonuses while marketing Hex as a high-yield blockchain certificate of deposit. Between December 2019 and November of 2020, Hart accepted more than $678 million worth of Ethereum from investors in exchange for Hex tokens, the complaint states. Additionally, the complaint alleges that between July 21 and April of 22, Hart conducted unregistered offerings of investment called Pulse Chain and Pulse X, allegedly urging investors to deposit crypto assets into public wallet addresses in exchange for tokens that would be delivered in the future. SEC highlights that more than $354 million was invested in Pulse Chain and more than $676 million in Pulse X in this fashion, according to the complaint. The SEC states that the offering from Hex, Pulse Chain, and PulseX were securities offerings that were not properly registered. Furthermore, the complaint alleges that Hart and Pulse Chain defrauded investors by misappropriating at least $12.1 million to pay for Hart's personal luxury purchases, including a 555-carat diamond, luxury watches, and cars, rather than developing the Pulse Chain network as promised. The SEC is seeking to bring this case to trial. So now, I am certainly going to be interested to see how this plays out, because this is a very interesting thing, because what they're saying that he did. What they say Hex, Pulse Chain, and PulseX is, however, it was kind of shot down by the Ripple case. So I'm going to be real interested to see how they hang their hat as an organization on this one. I get the sense here that this is something that they were working on for a long period of time, and that this, as it broke down with the Ripple ruling, which they did not expect, they kind of just had no choice but to throw it out, and see what happens in this offering. Maybe, just maybe, they can get something to happen here, perhaps. So this is one of those interesting situations in which, maybe, just maybe, we're going to get some sort of interesting result here. But I don't think that we do. I mean, I don't think that, look, if Ripple being sold, Pulse Chain, if Ripple's not a security being offered to retail, then neither is anything else at this point. So the SEC probably has a very difficult time proving their case. But let's move on. And Tom Crown, my man, look at this right here. This is absolutely bonkers. So this reads, and it came from Reddit today, by the way. It says, it appears SBF rugged bald on base chain for 20 million. I'll be editing additional information as I come across them, but all evidence points towards SBF being the bald developer. It appears that the wallet was repeatedly funded, and this is part of the redacted 4MP on Twitter, and then it says the deployer address, and it gives you the deployer address, and it says, it appears the wallet was repeatedly funded by FTX and Alameda Research for the last 2 to 3 years. Not super surprising that SBF is on house arrest, being investigated, and still finding a way to rug pull people. The account was the first address to vote on sushi proposals. The original sushi dev that rugged it after launch and later rebought the tokens was also Sam, as well as Didex proposals. And so then going back through here, through the deployer, you're finding that these, if anyone wants to know how the connection was made, and then it tells you this is exactly how you go. That address deployed the bald tokens on base. The same address made 102 deposits worth a total of 242 million to this Binance customer's address. The Binance customer's address received a total of $141 million in 150 separate transactions from another address, which you can see right there. Now, this address has a very strong connection with Alameda Research, having made 30 separate deposits to them worth a total of $66 million. The address also received $20 million in 6 separate transactions directly from Alameda Research. So we can infer that these entities belong to the same individual due to repeated use of the same customer deposit addresses, similar transactions volume, and trading history. DOJ should investigate and jail everyone for this one. So, now we have, and I'm not going to say that this is Sam Bankman-Fried. This is absolutely hilarious that it's happening in this regard, and I can say that because I didn't invest in Base, right? But if this is Sam Bankman-Fried pulling another game on people, thinking that he's not going to get caught, that would be so beyond the pale. The most likely scenario of this is that it's not him, and that somebody is using an old wallet pretending that it's him because they think that it's good for them. Somebody within FTX or something like that. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Like, is he really that checked out of reality? And, the interesting thing is, it is very possible that he doesn't see himself as the villain in his own story. He sees himself as the hero in this story. So he could be so checked out of reality that he thinks that he was doing the right thing by everybody in the beginning. So I don't know, but I'm going to be watching this for the next couple days. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, in more news, Dolphin and Shark wallets now hold over 18 million Litecoin as the Litecoin halving nears. We're about 3 days away from the Litecoin halving. And Santiment now says that with Litecoin's highly anticipated halving event within arm's reach on Wednesday, key traders holding between 9.5 and 950,000 worth of Litecoin are aggressively accumulating. Like most coin halvings, this is being perceived as a bullish event by traders. So if you haven't already, Litecoin might be a play to make. Now, I do think that that is a bullish. Anytime you see something like that happening, it's tended to be a bullish move. But I just got this bad feeling in this market that we may get the counter to that, and we might get a massive dump for a short period of time. So I would not go do what you want, but it just seems to me that going long on that right now would not end very well. In other news, $30 trillion wave of capital could send Bitcoin into the next bull run, says Mark Yusko. And here's his outlook. And he also says that he believes that it's already started and that we're just not experiencing it yet, but that's the reason that we've gone up from 16,000 up into this 30,000 range that we're in right now. He believes that we are probably on the verge of having this big run. So Into the Block also shows 64% of Ethereum holders are in profits right now. Although short-lived, the July market recovery favored several crypto tokens, including Ethereum. Accordingly, holders of the second largest crypto asset are among those who have profited from their early investments. And this doesn't make any sense to me, by the way. If you come back here and we zoom out just a little bit and we say that this right here is representative of our position in July, right? So in July, this is not the high. So it's weird to me that this is supposed to be representative of 64% of the market being in profit. However, that could also be a part of all of the staking that was being held by Ethereum, and the fact that the merge, that the new update of Shapella allowed for the unstaking, even though people didn't unstake very much. It allowed for it, and I think maybe that was, maybe the accounting for all of those people makes it seem like there's a lot more profitability in it. So we'll see, but I like that. That seems to me to be a little bit weird. But 63 million addresses. Investors show preference for Cardano and XRP over Bitcoin, which is a very, very odd statement. It says here, in a rather surprising development, both Cardano and XRP have observed $1 million worth of inflows as Bitcoin has experienced a downturn. Indeed, a recent report from CoinShares shows that investors are noting their preferences for both ADA and XRP as opposed to traditional heavy hitters like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is a very odd circumstance and should be leading us into an altcoin season. If that's, that is an impetus, and that's the kind of thing that we need in order to get there. But we haven't had any change in the altcoin season index, still sitting at 33. So despite that, we had that little run for XRP for just a little bit of time, we haven't really had enough of a run to really see any kind of change in the overall market dynamic. Now, the judge in the Terraform Labs, this is going to get crazy, by the way. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. I did, by the way, get my 21st member. I didn't update that. Let me update that real quick. And out, save that, and then boom. So this judge that's overseeing Terraform Labs has basically laughed Terraform Labs out of court at this point. A federal judge rejected an effort to dismiss the enforcement case brought by the SEC against Terraform Labs and Do Kwon. Terraform had argued that the recent split decision in the SEC's case against Ripple Labs invalidated the agency's case against the stablecoin issuer, but Judge Jed Rakoff of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York rejected Terraform and Kwon's argument, saying the civil case could move forward. It may also be mentioned that the court declined to draw a distinction between these coins based on their manner of sale, such that coins sold directly to institutional investors are considered securities, and those sold through secondary market transaction to retail investors are not. In doing so, the court rejects the approach recently adopted by another judge of this district in a similar case. So he didn't like the decision of Judge Annalisa Torres, so he is choosing to ignore it in favor of allowing it to go to trial to let people decide for themselves. So now we're going to go to a jury trial, and we'll see what a jury of peers has to say about whether or not this whole thing was the fault, first of all, of Terraform Labs, and interestingly enough, it is the fault of Do Kwon. Even though he may not have been malicious, he was neglectful in how he was treating and dealing with it. So, I think at the very least, he's the responsible party for whatever bad might have happened. Also, Shanghai is going to implement a blockchain infrastructure by 2025, and they have named it the Pujiang, the Pujiang Digital Chain Project. So, Pujiang. So it's not going to be Conflux, but Conflux will be integrated into this digital chain project. So when I tell you guys that I'm super bullish on Conflux, that is the reason why. And look at this. Conflux did have a nice little recovery over here the other day. We made some money off of it. So in case you were wondering, yeah, it was a good play. Also, is another Bitcoin rally coming soon? This pattern may say so. Stablecoin sharks and whales have been accumulating recently. According to data from Santiment, the sharks and whales of the major stablecoins have been increasing their reserves while Bitcoin has been struggling. The sharks and whales are two of the largest cohorts in the sector, with investors belonging to the former. Remember, Tether was like $83 billion the other day, and it's now almost $84 billion. But the market's not really drawing down gigantically. It's having moves up and down, but it's not drawing down gigantically. So that means that the money is just sitting here, and this one was 26, so it's 26 and a half. I don't think that changed very much. And then BNB is at 37 billion. So I would say that overall market cap here, I would say overall that at 37 billion, we're sitting in probably a pretty good spot for this market to get on quite the little rip very, very soon. There's $83 billion in capital sitting in Tether right now. There is 26 billion sitting in USDC. Tether profits are down 30%, by the way, in the last quarter. Remember, one of the things that Tether was going to do was buy Bitcoin every single quarter. So their purchasing power just went down a little bit. So stablecoin sharks accumulating, and we'll see how that plays out. Whale alert shows, let's get a refresh on this one. Whale alerts are not showing anything massive here. 200 million Doge transferred from an unknown wallet to Robinhood. So if you are looking to make a play, I would certainly be watching the Doge chart for a big red candle coming pretty soon. When you see that big red candle, I would absolutely be interested in taking a position in that, because that's going to be one of those big downward sort of ouch moves. And when you get something like that, then I would think that that's a great opportunity to accumulate. So let's see if we don't get like a big red candle coming up pretty soon. This happened about an hour ago. 817 Bitcoin were transferred from Kraken to an unknown wallet, so money coming off of the exchange. 49 million of USDT was transferred from Bitfinex to an unknown wallet. So somebody sitting on 50 million in stable money. 100 million USDC transferred from the USDC treasury to Coinbase. 1,936 Bitcoin transferred to Coinbase 5 hours ago. That's probably sold by this point, or portions of it are sold. So looking pretty good so far. Nothing gigantic that really sticks out. The Bald deployer has removed all liquidity from Bald. He bridged 9,385 ETH to base, and now he holds 12,433 ETH, earning 3,048 ETH, 5.7 million in 2 days. God damn it. Sam Bankman-Fried, you scoundrel, you. That is absolutely crazy. Liquidation levels look like this right here. We're just sitting right here in the middle. Can't seem to get in one direction or the other. So, I by the way, I think this is a very bad sign. I think that we're going to dip down into this probably right here to 28.9. And it may go further, but 28.9, I think, is probably kind of checked in here, because I think they're going to want to grab as much liquidity as possible it's easy to grab right here before moving on and making another run at something. Might even have to come down a little bit further. I would, if you haven't already, I would at least consider that we're probably coming down. We're probably going to be testing some lows here. And that 28,600, 28,500, I don't think this is going to hold because this 200 SMA is moving this way. So it is entirely possible that we have a move down here that causes it to rip up a little bit higher. So I think we've got that play coming in with that downward pressure. And that downward pressure, I don't know how far down it goes, but I just get the sense here that there's no positive momentum until we have that rip to the downside. So, you know, we'll see what happens here, but I don't I think it's coming, and I don't think there's much we can do about it. So at best, add some more liquidity, make sure that you don't get liquidated. That's about all you can do at this point. Ethereum, same thing, really. It's just kind of idling out here, waiting for a move. Now, it does have the benefit of doesn't look like as far a drop when you look at Bitcoin as it does, or Ethereum doesn't look like it's dropping nearly as much. 1784, 1785 is where the 200 SMA is. The drop there just doesn't feel as big as the one on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's over a 10% drop. Ethereum is less than, it's like 6% to get down there. So could be that we have that we don't have too much. It may not be that bad. So not for Ethereum anyway. BNB, I keep thinking that there's going to be a moment of recovery. Haven't gotten a buy signal. I put Chandelier back up here just to look for a buy signal to see if we get anything coming through. XRP 69. Remember a couple days ago, people were saying we're not going under 70 cents ever again. Well, there you go, buddy. Luna Classic is down to 8,000. Bone just doing it, guys. We're almost at. By the way, we're almost at my level. Like we're literally on a beeline right now to my level of 210 on Bone at $1.55. Continuing to pump. SHIB, not so lucky, not as lucky. It was on a good trajectory, but it can't have these. We can't have these weak ass little bitch candles and still expect to have that move. It will not play out to the full advantage. Now, it looks like that right there is the play, and it's still in a positive sentiment. It looks like maybe if this breaks down, it's a problem, but I don't think that it will because, of course, Bone is still running. Leash did run, even though it corrected a lot. I just think that, people are sleeping right now on SHIB, which is the way I think SHIB kind of wants it to be, or the investors anyway. And I think that you're going to just wake up and this thing will just start ripping. So we'll see. Conflux down just a little bit, but again, having nice little trade volume going up and down. And as I come up and down here, Grumpy Cat up 1% maybe. Nothing major there. Let's get rid of that liquidation. And let's go into Ben. Link, guys, I hope that you listened to me. I hope that you guys listened to me. Link is at 2804. You're up 150% if you did. If you didn't, it's on you. But it's now at $250,000 market cap. It's just continuing the upward trajectory. Like I really think that there's probably going to be something that pops in the next day or two that gives it an impetus, maybe up to $1 million market cap. I don't know that it goes beyond that. Like I'm not saying that this is the greatest thing that's ever happened or anything like that. But I get the sense that there is some opportunity here for it to have a quick little move aggressively up to $1 million market cap. So, and it rebranded so it looks more like Pepe, which probably is going to serve it well from a marketing standpoint. Lillian Finances up 11%, 35.14. Lillian just announced that they're going to do something, or they're making an announcement, which I think is, let me go check this out. They made a statement somewhere. Might be in a private chat. So let me see here. No, it was in the official Telegram. It says, tonight, let's just say that we are starting the new month off with a bang. Do make sure to give a warm welcome to the new tribe members as they join, is the statement that they made in their chat. So it is possible, it is possible that Lillian Finance might have a little bit of a move over the next little while. Of course, I mean, you have to zoom out and you have to make an accommodation here, and you have to look at it objectively and say, well, you know, I do hope that it moves, and we do hope that it has a nice little run, but you know, this is a long way from the top on where it was just a short while ago, which was already way down. So it's got a lot of room to grow. So I would, you know, if it doesn't at least 3x from here, then I would feel like, you know, that maybe a wasted announcement. Unless it's really big. I mean, you know, this thing could be really big. Remember, there were a lot of things that were working for them previously, and you never know when something's going to happen. Bone at $1.53, continuing to send. SHIB 84.21, correcting back down after a little bit of a spike, but look, it's not that far off. Like you have to consider here that SHIB is continuing that big move to that upside. You know, I don't know that we get this next move to 94 again or 95, but you know, 88, because it was wicking up there at about 88 on futures trading as well. 100x gems at 28.77, Advantis at 13.31, Volt 26.75. A lot of stuff, a lot of talking right now, but not a lot of movement on the chart. So, and volume down to 50,000 on Volt. On Uniswap, still significant volume in all of the exchanges, but you know, we're really just dealing with Uniswap when we're talking about the price action at this point. Deconnect at 1.7 cents. Pepe at 12.73. I think Pepe is due for, by the way, if you didn't, at 1200 down here, I was gonna set a long, and then I ended up saying, you know what, just in case, I'm gonna hold off. And if I hadn't, then it would have been a nice rip. By the way, Cult at 28.32. WAGMI has announced their launch of the new game. There was an announcement just a little while ago, and the announcement was, the wait is officially over. WAGMI defense is being deployed on Google Play today. Register now if you haven't already, and expect a detailed Medium story in a few hours going over instructions and details in regards to how to register for the WAGMI defense beta, how to download the game if you're invited, how to play, create an account, and list your cards on Immutable Marketplace. For everyone here at WAGMI, we want to thank you for your patience and support. We couldn't have done it without you. Next step, prepare for a soft launch on App Store and Google Play. WAGMI Summer is just getting started. So there we go. It is right there in case you want to play. Sign up today and see how it goes. Now, that hasn't directly resulted in price action, which leads me to think, by the way, let me scroll back here. For some reason, somebody about, what is this, 4 hours ago, well, 6 hours ago, about 6 hours ago, not 5 hours ago, but about 6 hours ago, somebody, for some reason, sold 15 Ethereum. So I would get the sense that somebody knew something before somebody else knew something. And that is why the dramatic amount being sold off at that point, because it would have made more sense to be holding on, especially when you look at this. This is going back not that long ago. This thing was trading at 2,100. It seems a little weird that you would have waited until it came all the way down into that 18 range in order to make that sell, unless you knew something was happening, and that's why. Ben was up at about 50, 56, which makes it, you know, it's in the right position. and came back down. I don't know that there's going to be a breakout or not on it. I do think that there is going to be a breakout. But for those of you that were listening this morning, BitBoy said that the NASDAQ, which is where they were going to run the what do you call them? The ads, rejected the ads outright, by the way. And here is the absolute bonkers crazy stuff over here. Life-changing kind of shit that they go through. Let me show you the picture here. Here we go. This is why they rejected it, because it says Bencoin now, transform your strategy, defy the banks, and it's DEFI for decentralized finance. Defy the banks. Defy the banks was enough for them to say we're not posting it. So that ended up being just that's kind of a no-go. Look, you have to understand that this is the banks holding on, and the banks are preventing these kind of like that. That's I'm not going to call it censorship, because a private business can do whatever the fuck a private business wants to do. But that is some shady ass business right there. So yeah, I would be I would be looking at that. And by the way, this is a testament to what happened right there. You had the little overnight run up to 53, 54, 55, 56. And then of course we got here to this morning and sold off, because that's what ended up happening. PSYOP down 17%, 19%. I don't know. PSYOP is just way down again. So I think maybe ETHBEN though has kind of finally disappeared. Would I be right in that? I don't know. So anyway, there we go. That's the update for the evening. Time for me to go, walk the dog. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. By the way, if you haven't already, at least consider, because it does help me tremendously, at least consider signing up for MEXC, NordVPN, BitGet, OKX, checking out 100x Gems, really good project. They have, you can launch your own cryptocurrencies on 100x Gems. They have their own fair launch deployer. In a short order, they're going to have an NFT producers collection in which you can earn yield and revenue off of anybody who starts their own crypto on their platform. I am going to launch a token on that platform. I'm not sure what the token's going to be named or anything like that yet. Don't have any details, but we're getting closer to it. It's going to be a couple days now, and then we'll be making some content and videos about it. Then you have there's a crypto platform, kind of like Telegram, that they're going to have just for people who are part of the ecosystem. And then there's a crypto TV show scheduled for the end of the year. So interesting times. So let's see what happens. But anyway, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again for breakfast in the morning.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck looked like the Loch Ness